the MMA Roundup time for the month of June. I had a lot of good fight cards actually this month, and there was actually a couple of candidates for all the awards, which is good. 3 different organizations getting awards from me, with them all getting some honorable mentions. First up, we have I don't know if anyone else is going to do this, but I'm going with the bad call / bad decision of the month. It is Dave Marquardt versus Talis from UFC 85. Of course, the Phantom elbow that cost Nate Marquardt the fight. The elbow to the back of the head did not happen. He deserved, of course, the penalty for the knee, but not the elbow. And of course, at that point, brought in, he would have won the fight. So that is the bad decision or bad call of the month. KO of the month, Thiago Alves flying knee over Matt Hughes. Honorable mention, of course, to Malmov, Kazushi Sakuraba. Picked the one on Hughes because I like Sakuraba and I don't like Hughes, so I got a little more enjoyment out of watching Hughes get his ass knocked out. Plus, it was a flying knee. I'm always partial to the flying knee, but both KOs were great. And that's why there was honorable mention. Sub of the month, and this was really close due to the fact that, man, how often do you see a flying shoulder lock courtesy of Dustin Hazelton on Josh Burton at the tough finale? But in the end, you've never seen a go from the top side in a fight, and that's what Aoki gave us against Nagata, Dreams 4. That's in there. Of course, you got the honorable mention, obviously, to Dustin Hazelton and Josh Burton. But yeah, any other month that sub for Dustin Hazelton would have been sub of the month, but not this month. Moving on, we have the fight of the month. Now, there were 3 fights that really stood out, and they were Jens Pulver and Uriah Faber from WC 34. From that same card, we had Miguel Torres and Yoshihiro Maeda. And for the Dream 4 card, we had Hideki Tokoro versus Darren. I have no idea how to say his last name. I've seen him fight a couple of them, but I don't know how to say his last name. Yumanema or whatever. If I'm getting that wrong, forgive me. I'm usually pretty good about pronunciation, I think. In the end, I gave this to Pulver Faber because I think largely just because it went 5 rounds. I mean, there are very few 5-round fights that you're going to see that throughout the whole fight you're into the fight. You're enjoying the fight. And that fight brought that, and that's incredibly rare. Doesn't happen like ever. I honestly can't think of another one that went to a decision after 5 rounds that I was entertained by all the way. Even though the Jens Pulver BJ Penn fight that did that, it didn't go all the way. There were some walls. And it gets it over, I guess, the Tokoro fight, because Tokoro gassed a little bit later in the fight. Torres Maeda fight had some sloppy moments, which I think basically gives it to Pulver Faber. But all 3 of these fights, if you've not seen them, if you've not seen the WEC 34 card in general, you should really see it. Just because of those 2 fights. There were a few other decent fights, but those were the main attractions. Alright, that does it for this month. If you have any suggestions for other awards to add to this thing, that would be cool, and you can comment that. Otherwise, comment, rate, subscribe. Flamers be warned. Me, Byron, and Miz have a lot of time on our hands at night, and we will flame the crap out of you. So anyways, check out one of Miz's videos, the how Forrest Griffin can win against Rampage Jackson, for an example. So later, and